If you've ever wondered what Franny Craddock and all of those guys on Blue Peter, this is a very local reference, did when they were making one earlier. This is me making one earlier. Although I don't believe that Fanny Craddock ever made anything earlier. I'm sure she had a minion do it for her. So what we're going to do is I want to have 3 dynamic layers that is, instead of being made up of velocity response to this piano sample, I'm going to use 3 different Mooga Fooger settings, which I've set up. Now, a lot of these are LFO based, which basically means they have like sweeping patterns. But the problem is when you sample that and you're playing stuff that isn't all playing at the same time, you get all of these cross filtering going on. Like, you know, so imagine something going wow, 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 which is fine if everything is going down, wow, wow together. But if you go down, wow, 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 it creates, well, I mean, it's an effect, but it's not what I desire. So what I've done is I've done a bunch of effects that work just, you know, set and forget kind of stuff. So first things first. So the first one, you use the low pass, ring modulator, and then the cluster flux. The low pass, I'm kind of using a little bit of the envelope follower, but it's mainly the drive I'm using on that one. So what I'm going to do now on the computer is, so we've got the piano and then we've got the sound coming in from the Mooga Foogers. This is sent out of output 3 and 4, is actually just output 3. And because I only have one of each Mooga Fooger, I can't do this in stereo, so I'm going to show you my way round of doing that. 3 and... So you can see the audio is going down on that track. I'll get rid of that. Just wait for it to go all the way. Awesome. So because that's the deepest note, that will be the longest note that we have. So we'll do that. And then 12. $24. Is it 36 next, gentlemen? 36. 48. Come on. That'll be enough of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply record it twice, but I'm not going to record the same output twice. So this is the AQP, this is the Absurdly Quiet Piano Pro. Just a little reminder that I own the copyright to these samples. So if you want to resample stuff for your own personal use, it's perfectly legal, but you cannot redistribute or sell. I'm going to put this on Piano Book, which is pianobook.co.uk. I'm allowed to do that because I'm the copyright holder, or I have a copyright waiver from the Crow Hill Company. You're not allowed to do that. So it has to be, if you've maybe made a sample instrument yourself and you want to then kind of mess it all up with your Mooga Foogers, that's the way to do it. Don't do it with other people's samples. Okay, AQP Piano Pro, and then it's left. And then we're going to go right. And the way I'm going to change that is I'm simply going to go down here, duplicate. This is AQP MIDI, left. AQP MIDI, MIDI, right. And then that's simply, it's a duplicate of this channel. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick a utility on, gain, stereo, and it's a little flip there. So then what it sends out of channel 3 will be the opposite channel. So we just need to do that and mute for the first pass, into record, into AQ Piano Pro thing. Let's get rid of this so it doesn't confuse my very small mind. And click off. Gripping YouTube, guys. We should call the extras channel Crow Hill Paint Dry. Watch. Every time I sample something, I go, oh yeah, this is what I do. Yeah, I remember now. There's been different trends at Air Studios back in the good old days. We went through a Scrabble phase. All of us got really good, but it got just a little bit too competitive. I went through a Buster Keaton phase, watching Buster Keaton films. And then for something we recorded in Santa Monica, we had a Anthony Bourdain phase. It's remarkable reviewing, actually, with subtitles on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just flip these. And then what I'm going to do is just change the settings, just like by a hair. And I actually find by not having stereo, but having to create your own stereo, you end up with an even more stereo image because you're basically using the same thing, but just changing everything by a tiny amount. So I'm hoping this will create a really kind of broad image. You can really hear the filter sweep on that one. Okay, I'm just going to shimmy these up and we're going to go back in again for the next Mooga Fooger. That's it. So for this one, I hear this as maybe being an upper velocity layer, and for basically for every note, I'm going to react with manually with the frequency knob here, returning it to that kind of position. So you get this grrr, and then again stereo. This is going to be bonkers. Let me just check. Okay. What's Eurovision, either of you? We have some friends in Bulgaria. They seem very happy. They work in music, and I'm hoping my man George gets the MD gig. Not the same since Terry Wogan, eh? No. Okay, let's do the switch around. Terrific. Okay, so that's looking good. So let's just scooch these up here. And flip it back. And we're going to go on to the cluster flux, which makes it sound a bit like a steel drum. Okay. Okay, flip pitch. Might be good to do this, just leave this as is, Alan, even with me talking now, and just do it as a real-time thing, so people just get a sense of the sheer and utter boredom of life in sampling and how they should basically do a little bit more piano practice when they're younger. It's going to be interesting getting rid of the top end of that thing. Groovy. Okay, right. What I'm going to do next is let's just save this so we know where all of the stuff is. Workshop, Mooga, piano, and documents. How are you doing over there, Alan? Alan is poorly ill, and he's come in even though he's got very much poorliness going on. Okay. I'll try not to make you laugh too much, as if I ever do. Oh, what did I just save that as? Workshop. Workshop, Mooga piano. Package. Folder, that's what we want. Piano. Folder. Okay. Documents. Audio files. So we should have 3 audio files in there. Right. Why don't we have 3? I think the first one, yeah. Let's see if we can retitle that. Does that change the... I think I'll just have to grin and bear it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is pull this into RX. Now, usually what I do is, as you can see here, lots of samples. I usually create a module chain and do a batch. But what I'm going to do is actually just do these individually because there's only 6 samples. So we can remove all them and then just find the normal screen. Let's get rid of that, and then just drag these in. And let's see, quite a lot of interesting business going on here. Jeepers, that harmonic series goes on forever. Okay. So what we're going to do is just grab a bit of the silence at the beginning. Spectral denoise, learn, and I'm just going to reset the curve. There's a bit of stuff at the bottom that's a bit heavier, so just a bit more reduction there, smooth it out, and make the reduction 18, maybe 16. Okay, let's render that. Save, close. See, each Mooga Fooger very much has its own noise profile. Render. Oh no, I'm doing this wrong. Let me just close all of these. All I'm doing is rendering the bit that I've selected to learn the thing, which is annoying. I'll do, what's this one? Piano Pro left. No, that's a different one. No, different one. Okay, so that's the same as the other one. So let's learn that. And then we want to render the whole thing. Yippee. Okay. Save, close, and then just find the other one. Same profile, yep. All of that. Groovy. Save, close. Let's learn this one. Oh, I did the same on this, didn't I? So let's learn that. And pew. Still quite noisy, isn't it? See how that sounds at the other end. Render. Pew, pew, pew. One. Yes, I do wish to save it. Yes, I do wish to save it. Okay, and then one more thing to learn. Learn that. Now, I wouldn't necessarily do that with left and right for like microphones and stuff like that. But because if you recall, we just swapped. So it's going through the same Fooger, it's going to have the same noise profile. So render. And another render. Okay. Save, close. Now, if we go in here, these should now be... What I'm actually going to do... Project audio. Right, it thinks I'm connected to another screen. I don't know why. Is there a gather? Window. Ring all to front? No. Full screen tile? No. Oh, there we go. Not what I was thinking, but anyway. There we go. Brilliant. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of it all now and then pull it back in. Okay. Go on. Oh, I fucked one of them. Okay. What did I fuck? It's the first one. Okay. Left, right. So one left, one back in. Just got to quickly resample that again. Enjoying that. I'm glad we didn't do this as the live workshop. I think I've learned a lot, Simon. I think I've learned a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing this in Reaper because I still don't know how to use it. And there's no, you're not going to see me doing tutorials on Reaper for at least another year. I have just got a commission though, and I'm writing the stuff on Reaper. But this is all rooty audio business. I should just say it's because I'm 54. And then if anyone says anything, I'm just going to accuse them and get them cancelled for ageism. If you think that sounds like a good idea, Simon. Okay, right. Let's just do this one more time. Save. Okay. Keep. Let's just pull that in. For avoidance of doubt that we're pulling in the noise reduced version. Okay, let's just get these all. I think that looks like that pair. Great. Right. Next trick is I want to strip them up into different regions, one for each sample. I tell you what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bounce this into a single thingy just for convenience. Okay. 2x stereo. Fooger piano folder stereo mix. Okay, did that add to? Stereo, good. Okay. It's going to be a bit easier to do this now. So I'm still going to split it into three things because they have slightly different gains, to say the least. And I'm going to normalize this. And then strip silence, which is a very unscientific way of doing this, but it'll work for these purposes. In fact, what I'm going to do is make a much bigger pre-attack time and sort. Okay, we've got a lot of release triggers going on in that one. So there's that. There's that. We don't want that. think it's worthy of mentioning that I'm in a very happy mood today because my English team won the English Premiership. Okay. Now, there is a shortcut for this, but I don't know if I know it. So, trim region start to next transient. That's why I don't have a... Okay. Transient. Trim region start to next transient. And let's do that. No. Okay, I'm just going to nick that. Okay, so I've now got a hotkey for this. And what logic is doing is detecting the transient. And what I would usually do for posh sample instruments is I would then drag everything back a fixed amount so you could adjust the sample start kind of pre-delay after the fact, but I'm just not going to do that with this. And the reason you can't lasso in Logic is what it'll do. I'll show you. If you go like this, it just takes everything forward by the same amount of this, which is really annoying. So you've got to do it with everyone. Please correct me if there's a way of doing this. Not that I need to know anymore because I'm moving to Reaper in it, Simon.
You can do Reaper?
I bet you can. Okay. So let's make this Fooger Piano 1. Okay, if you gentlemen want to do us a favour, can you find me what the MIDI note number for D1 is, or basically 2 Ds below middle C. Fooger Piano. You'll probably get a more accurate response to that last query. Fooger Piano 2. $26, thank you. Fooger Piano 3. Okay, and then what we're going to do is export these. Into a little Fooger Piano. Well, that's annoying. Oh, I see. Yeah. No. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, I understand. Okay, let's do it like this. Effect A. Let's go A1. Yeah, that's it. B1. Okay. Okay, I'm not adding those browsers, so I'll be able to just delete the others because they were confusing. Okay, next little trick up my sleeve is I'm going to do a little name mangler. So what we're going to do is this, unlock. We're going to basically replace everything. We're going to create a sequence with a prefix. CH. Piano book. Fooger. Piano. Layer 1. And then, so what did you say it was again, mate?
26.
Start at 26. Increase by, I believe, it's 12. So would the next D up be 38? So middle C is MIDI note number 48. Yes.
Oh, wait a minute, this is doing it as middle C is C4.
No, it shouldn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Middle C is. It doesn't matter because middle C is middle C. It will just have a MIDI note. MIDI note for middle C is the same, and I believe it should be 60. So shouldn't that mean that the D above should be 62, and therefore two Ds below middle C should be 24 less that, if you know what I mean. Can we double check then?
Yes.
MIDI note number for two Ds below middle D.
MIDI note number for 2Ds below C are 26 and
14. No, don't worry. Let me. No, it's fine. It's, what MIDI note number is two Ds below middle? 38. 38. Yeah, so that gives us 62 at middle C, which is middle D rather, so 74. So just piano layer 1 like that. Piano layer 3. Okay, so this, lads, is when is the point at which I do and here's one I made earlier, but I may as well do a little rehearsal if that's okay. Yeah, why don't and yeah. Well, actually, I tell you what. If you want to see how this turns out, if you go over to what we'll do is we'll link the workshop that this is a preparation for in the link down below, and then you can see, and we'll timestamp it and stuff, so you don't have to listen to me waffle any more than you have already. Okay, so yeah, join us over on that live bit, which is over on the Crowhill Co. Website. Links below. Thanks.